into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. Live by the die.
Die by the die.
Oh no.
I am Izzi, your lore master, and we are continuing with our story. Eleothis, Land of the Woven Sons. And with me today I have...
I am, who the F am I? It censored itself, so we get monetized.
Hey,
I am Cuba. I play Ayla Myrea. She is a tiefling glamour bard, and I rolled a healthy 14.
All right, plus
Nice,
3,
not bad,
that's a
not
17.
Hi, my name's Amanda. I play Iolite. She's an Earth Genasi Circle of Stars druid, and I rolled a healthy 6.
All
Bronze
right,
is healthy.
we're in the single digits there with that one. Okay.
Hi, I'm Julie. I play Kethra Evermove in a human Circle of the Moon Druid, and I rolled a very unhealthy 2.
Ooh, at least
It
I
is now
beat
in the
you.
little spot.
It's on my support.
No, it's in the chair.
I think we can swear now. It's been like 30 seconds, right?
I tried to make it 5, so that it's not like, Julie, I'm gonna kill you. It's like, understood. I had that coming.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I play Malachi Morningstar. He's a Dampier Hexblade Warlock, and I rolled a natural 20.
That's very healthy. Very nice.
Turning this ship around. That's right. And I'm looking at the wrong
Yep, you're always looking
contraption.
at the
I'm
wrong
Adam.
one.
I play Eldon. He is a human Drakewarden Ranger, and I rolled a 12.
Okay, that's a 17, so we've got a rollies off again between Ayla and Eldon.
All right, sure. I never seen
I suck hardcore this
12.
week.
17.
Ah, fuck you!
Down there.
All right, so
all right.
Eldon
That's
goes
all right.
first.
So I actually like it better when you go
Druids.
first.
Sorry.
We'll do the cleanup.
Absolutely.
Down at
Sometimes
the
it's good to
end
be
of
at the bottom.
at
It gives
the
them some
initiative.
chances to take some hits, and I can figure out what to
I know.
do.
We'll heal
Sometimes it's
everybody.
bad to go
Absolutely.
first
Yes.
because you're like, I don't know
Sometimes
what
I'm
to
like,
do.
You know what?
Not when you are
being
the
at the very
support
end.
Yeah,
character.
you need to go first. I don't mind being at the end.
Just always put me first.
Don't either.
So you can follow us on YouTube and Patreon, all for free. The VODs go out when I am done editing them, which I typically try to do on Tuesdays. For Patreon, you do get early access to our podcast version, because that goes out the following Monday. Let's see. Crap. I put this in the wrong spot. So, we have merch. Our merch.
Oh, wait, I'm
As
sitting
you
on
can
it.
see,
That's right.
tinyurl.com/merch. We got crop tops,
Sitting
we've
on
got
I gotta get a hat,
t-shirts,
so
we've
I
got
just always keep it in
sweatshirts,
here to-
Yeah.
we've got hats, all of the fun things, and all of that
I need to get
goes
some
back
like, tank
to...
tops.
We got tank tops.
I need to get
I
a
need
tank
a
top.
beanie.
We got
I need to
beanies.
get a beanie.
I think some
that
of the
helps
beanies
us.
are actually sold out. I think we gotta just alternate to a different brand.
So you can help us
Sadness.
get more with your support, your monetary support, and rep our little story here.
Send us pictures if you rep it.
Oh yeah, for our social medias.
New Pride shirts.
New Pride shirts.
One of those.
Happy Pride. Music, we are happily using Monument Studios Fantasy Plus, Michael Gelfie Studios, Alexander Miller, aka the Boy King of Idaho, and Kevin McLeod from Incompetech for our ambiance and our background music. Links can be found in the show notes, and thank you very much to all of those creators who give us access to their music and ambiance as long as we give them credit for it, which absolutely they deserve, and we will do that happily. Scribe Quill. So before we get started, you can check out our scribequill.com recap with character art by Mibble Art. I think I'm saying it right, but it might be Mibble Art, Mibel Art on Instagram, and backgrounds from Beno's. I also might not be saying that right. Benoes battle maps on Patreon. And don't forget to
Like, share, subscribe.
Last session, the Woven Fates found themselves immersed in the grandeur of a diplomatic gala. themed with underwater accoutrement and thrown by the Zorish brood, currently highest in rank across the most influential families of Rilsk. The Ratrix, Eldon's spirit become dragon companion, grappled with his severed bond and newfound selfhood, observing the festivities with a changed perspective. Eldon, uncomfortable yet resolute as the guest of honor, shared a poignant conversation with their Ratrix before they made a dramatic exit, flying over Rilsk as Ayla and Destir conjured a spectacular dragon-shaped firework display to mark their departure. Back at the Frothing Keg Inn, the party regrouped. Eldon invited Iolite for a private walk, which turned into a romantic, prearranged nighttime dance under the stars. Their conversation, though tender, hit a tense note regarding a past misunderstanding involving a turn of phrase uttered by Eldon that Desdir took as a confession of a romantic interaction between Iolite and the Drake Warden. The night ended with Eldon and Iolite, hand in hand, and a promise to be a better friend to Iolite's best and oldest cohort. Malachi and Kethra also shared an evening walk in the city. Kethra allowed herself a bit more vulnerability, and, by the end of the evening, shared some stolen wine and the admission that she was not yet ready to face the visions available to her in the mysterious piece of glass given to her by Yuri. Kai promised his support, ever faithful to his companion. As sleep overtook the party, Kai experienced a new vivid and harrowing dream, reliving a past where he hunted for his lost elven brother Loris, only to find him turned into a vampire spawn in a crumbling mountain stronghold. A vow to save Loris from his fate echoed in his mind as his eyes opened to the warmth of the woven sun's rays. The following days in Rilsk brought gifts from a pleased Euthrus, whose promenade with the voice of the world dragon appeared to have curried her favor among her peers. But more time in the city also brought unsettling revelations. Mori, the leader of Asterim's End, suffered a debilitating episode, collapsing in pain in the dining area of the inn. Kethra fiercely defended Iolite when Mori reacted aggressively, yelling and pushing Iolite away from him. Fernilli, who was found out in the street by Iolite and Eldon, distracted by affections with Desdir, rushed back to soothe Mori with her unique abilities. Desdir later explained Mori's condition, a curse causing immense pain when he amplifies magic, a power that could be catastrophically destructive if uncontrolled. He also confessed his own role in Headmaster Kaigeros's demise after the failed initial attack on the Sidereal Assembly, which allowed Mori to escape and fulfill his mission of obtaining the Druid's notes and existing shards, as well as ensuring the safety of Iolite. The party then confronted Mori and Asterim's End. Mori apologized and confirmed their next destination, the Meadows, to find another shard for Iolite, believed to be hidden deep underground. He warned of the dangers and admitted his selfish hope that Iolite's completed power might cure his chronic pain, a confession that paradoxically earned Kai's trust. With plans set and tensions aired, the woven fates prepared to venture into the perilous Meadows.
You hear the rhythm of hooves before you feel it. Thud, 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 a steady pulse of weight against earth, beating its slow, inevitable march northward. The wagon rocks gently beneath you, the leather straps creaking, the wood groaning ever so slightly as your weight shifts. It's been 3 days since Rilsk, and every step takes you closer to the place you once swore you would never see again. Closer to Squall's End. Your arms rest around Nyx, his purring a low, reassuring vibration against your chest. He doesn't ask anything of you. Not usually. But you tighten your hold on him anyway. You watch the trees roll past, sparse at first, then thicker, sharp pines giving way to moss-laced oaks and twisting branches that claw at the sky like they're trying to escape the ground. And still, the road winds forward. Toward him. Toward Rakes Veli. You tell yourself you're ready. You look ready. Strong, steady, silent. You've stood between danger and your friends more times than you can count. If there's a firestorm on the horizon, you'd throw yourself into it without hesitation, so long as it gave the rest of them a few more seconds to escape. But that certainty falters when it turns inward, when it's just you facing it. Your hand drifts to the pocket where you keep Yuri's gift, that tiny, glinting shard of glass, small enough to seem harmless, powerful enough to unravel you. You haven't used it yet. Not because you forgot, not because it doesn't tempt you, but because you're afraid. Yuri said it could show you memories, any memory from anyone. A stranger's sorrow, a friend's joy, a dying gasp, a child's laughter, anything. It's not clear if what you'd see is how it truly happened, or simply how someone remembers it. And what if it's hers? What if you see Opharilla again? Not in dreams, but in jagged, crystalline detail. What if you see her alive, her face twisted in fear the moment they dragged her from you? Or worse, what if you see nothing at all? Your mind is a liar, you know that. It rewrites things to protect itself. But what happens when it's the memory shard doing the telling? Whose version of the truth is that? You inhale sharply, blinking hard, and press your cheek to Nyx's fur. You told yourself long ago she was dead. It was easier that way. Easier to carry the guilt if it had an ending. But Felicia shattered that comfort like thin glass. Felicia, who should have stayed buried in the past. Felicia, who now walks this world trailing something monstrous behind her. An unwilling vessel, perhaps, but a vessel all the same. And Rakes, his prophecies used to sound like desperate scripture spun by a man drunk on his own voice. When the thornless rose learns to bloom, all of the garden shall be their domain. Your strongest child will be your strength, your hope, and your redemption. He will consume us all, and through that consumption will we know what it truly means to feel love. Before, you would have rolled your eyes. Now, you hear the edges of something real in those words. The rift was real. It allowed more than one monstrosity through and into Eleothis. If another god is walking, if love and consumption are to be one and the same, you can't afford to dismiss Rakes anymore. Sometimes, sacrifices are necessary. That's what they say, isn't it? That it's noble, that it's justified, that it keeps people safe. You pull your eyes away from the winding road and glance back into the second wagon where you and the other woven fates ride in soft conversation or quiet thought. You study their faces, Kai, Iolite, Eldon, Ayla. They've become your home. And you would burn 100 squall's ends to keep them safe. Your gaze drifts to the tree line again, just as something catches your eye. There, between the roots and shadowed ferns, a shape. Blackened, odd, not natural. The smell reaches you half a second later, sweetly wrong, like sugar left too long in a fire. Nyx's ears twitch. Your breath catches. You lean forward, staring into the dense green. Whatever it is, it doesn't belong. And like it or not, it's waiting for you. What do you do?
Well, Kethra would most likely, she would just lean back and just kind of pull herself out very quietly from the conversation from everyone. and just keep staring out the window. And she'd be saying to Nyx the whole time, "We're getting too close." And as she's saying it to Nyx, because she's not thinking it, she's saying it out loud, she'd say out loud, "We're getting too close."
Too close to what?
Oh, I said that out loud?
Yeah.
The rift. Have any of you been looking out the window?
Does Kai see anything out the window?
Make a perception check.
If we've been like having conversation and telling jokes and stuff, then
15?
I'm probably not
What was
looking out
it?
the window.
15.
15. You, as you are like kind of lean forward, which one of you or two of you would be kind of like, it's like a covered like wagon thing. So two of you would be driving. It's open though, so you can all be chatting with each other with this like open space. So who would be driving? Eldon, alone? It's fine if it's alone. I'm just asking.
I don't know. I'm up front.
I
Who's-
would
who wants
just
to-
assume that Iolite would be sitting next to Eldon.
I guess she's riding shotgun, yes.
Ayla is
Doesn't
not
have to
driving.
be. It could be Thertrix.
I was going to say third person.
Now, Thertrix is like he lands on the back and the whole wagon goes like it's like no. The horses are like.
So as you are continuing on, you like lean forward to look out this window space that you have, and you see you've passed it already, but off into the darkness of the swamp greens, there appears to be a black mass. It's not moving, but it is out of place in the tree line. That's just there. Like you see it probably 20 feet back at this point and getting further away as you keep going.
There's something in the tree line.
That's good to know that I'm not seeing shit. That's good to know.
You want me to stop?
I think we should check it out at least.
Are we the first wagon or the?
You're the second one.
The second one.
The other group is up ahead. You're probably like 50-ish feet away from them. Like you just
I can't do it in real life.
I was gonna say I was gonna whistle. Yeah.
The loud.
We did have Rocky Talkies at one
It
point.
was like, I would do it.
What? Oh yeah, but it only works once a
I'd
day.
do it,
right?
but I'd blow out the mics.
Yeah. So you whistle. You see Gary, and for a moment you're like, who the fuck is that? Like pops his head out of the back.
There it is. Get him.
Pops his head out of the back of the wagon, another covered, and looks to you, and then you see him pop it back in as you indicate that you're going to be slowing down. They stop slowly. The wheels of both of the carts slow down, and you see, we'll say Desi comes out and trots back down to your cart. What's up?
Something in the tree line we want to check out. Just to make sure. It's nothing.
Something dangerous looking, or
Could be.
all
You
right.
never know.
I'll let him know.
What time did you say it was?
I didn't. It's
I'm assuming night, judging by the crickets.
That's what I thought.
no.
but I
You're in a
didn't-
swamp-ish area.
Oh,
They're
okay.
always going now. Yeah, these are peepers.
So daytime.
Sure. So he treads back over. That's not a word that you would do when you're not above.
Well, when you use that terminology, I'm just seeing him dragging his feet.
Back over to the.
He frolics back over.
He skips. Maybe he does, and then he looks back at Iolite with a smile, and then he keeps going.
Oh, you.
Tra-la-la.
And yeah, you're fine to do whatever you need as you hop out of the caravan cart thing.
Let's keep our distance, but let's try and get a little closer.
You head back. Is anybody staying with your cart, or you're just all kind of going? I mean, you've got a group.
How far away is it?
It's probably about 30 feet back. It's not too far.
Okay.
I'll send my mage hand out,
To do what?
follow the group, and smack something that needs smacking.
Okay, so it's like just trailing behind you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm staying back. And I'm just
you're
like,
gonna stay back at the cart. Okay.
and then I just conjure mage hand, and like they're walking towards it, and just my floating spectral hand is just kind of.
Kevin's gonna
with
look at the
everybody.
spectral hand and go, "Fucking Ayla."
I don't know about the pink pant like that.
Like it's walking, like
Yeah.
I was gonna say
almost like
it's
it.
walking like thing.
like thing. Yes.
Also, I think you keep saying spectoral, which means spit. It's spectral. So
Spectral.
every time you say spectoral, I'm just like
Just
this
a
sopping wet
glob
hand.
of dripping.
This drool's covered.
Look, let's be honest. Isla's
Mage hand.
spit is good spit.
I'll take your word on that.
Octua, spit on that.
really-
There are people in Eleothis that will
really-
pay for mason jars of Isla spit.
I really hope that's
Pay
one
for
of the
a bathwater,
quotes
too.
that
Yeah.
the scribble
OnlyFans.
picks up on this audio. Isla's spit is different.
You walk back
I just see a
over.
big Ayla loogie. Thank you.
Isla stays behind. Like shimmies up to the front where the horses are and sits with legs crossed and just like kind of looking back through the back of the cart, watching you all. And you swatting bugs away. You can see you're on a road that is very well traveled, so you can see the light of the suns. Actually, let me. You can even hear the bugs in the background.
mosquitoes.
That's a clear day. Absolutely clear, no wind. A little bit muggy because there's no wind. As you head over, you all get a waft of that sickly sweet smell that comes
All that
over.
swamp ass now.
Is it familiar? Like, have we smelled this particular smell before in our adventures?
As you get closer, it's a little mixed with swamp, and so Eldon has more of a recognition of the area that you're in. It's a mixture of rot, natural swampy smells, and like a mixture of floral and fauna rotting mass. As you get closer, you can see some of you kind of getting a little closer, some staying behind. There appears to be what looks like possibly a body in the tree line or the swampy gross line. From what you can see from the distance that you are, black mass, shiny in parts, and there looks to almost be like a hand that's sticking up out, maybe in an unnatural way. The whole thing is blackened. And interestingly, there are, as you watch, you can see bugs coming over, but when they land on it, they just like into it. There are no flies flying away. If anything lands on it, it just almost gets absorbed by, instantly starts rotting.
I'm gonna have the mage hand come and like try to like lift it up.
From your vantage point, you're gonna have to get closer if you want to be able to see what you want your mage hand to do.
She'll get a few feet closer.
So okay, so you're gonna have to come off of the cart and get closer with the rest of the group.
I love the idea that you just. I was like, but the ground's icky.
Yeah, right.
It's swamp.
She's like
holding the end of her dress up like
and her tail.
She's wearing leather pants. She's not wearing a dress right now. But it's very hard to walk in swamp in heels.
I picture Ayla as the type to wear the pants under the dress. Like she's still always wearing
she's
the
adventurer chic right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the road is well traveled, so they've tried to prop up and make it so that wagons and horses can travel it without too much hardship. If you were to go off the road, which is quite easy to do, it's not like there's a hard line between the two. You would definitely end up nasty, but they do their best to keep it.
She would get closer, but behind everyone, and then try to see if it's just like a hand or if like it can raise like more than a hand out of it.
So a combo of both. As the mage hand drifts over and grabs onto the wrist, it tugs up. It can only lift 10 pounds worth of
That's
weight.
true. It's as strong as she is.
So it pulls, and then you hear a little squelching sound as it lifts up, and the arm lifts up, but it looks as though it has disconnected from more. It's not like it's a lone hand that's just sticking out of a glob. It looks like you pulled it up out of where it was attached.
You definitely hear from behind you. That is fucking gross.
Well, I think we've seen all we need to see.
Agreed.
The mage hand disappears and just into the muck.
Does it look like the rot that we've seen?
Are you getting closer?
No.
Kai is.
I was going to say, Eldon
I
will.
was just
thought
going to have Kethra say, you two fucking Boy Scouts over there don't do fucking bullshit.
Kai walks up to it with a spoon.
Kai and Eldon hold hands.
Don't do Adam and Pat stuff. Please.
Don't be gross, boys.
I gotta sit between you two sometimes, I swear.
Kai and Eldon join hands,
Testing.
nod to each other, and walk forward towards.
They look at each other. No homo.
It's Pride. It's Pride Month. All homo. All the homo.
All the time.
Tra la la.
Only for like 30 days or 31 days or whatever this month is.
So heading forward, you can do survival, you can do nature, like perception, what are you trying to ascertain, investigation, and I'll give you an answer based off what you tell me it is and what you roll.
I was going to do investigation, so that makes it a total of 7.
Okay.
Well, you don't ascertain shit.
What was the choices?
Really kind of whatever you
Survival,
think.
maybe?
Survival,
Or
nature, perception, investigation, whatever you're
perception as
trying
well.
to ascertain.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out just what this stuff is. Perception seems. So 10 plus 5, 15.
Okay. And what was your rolling? Sorry.
7 investigation.
Investigation. Okay, you step forward and like kneel down, not too close. And I would say with a 7, you can tell that this is the rot that you have seen before. And as a matter of fact, you kind of like look off to the north, the direction that you're going, and in the swampy greens, you can see a little trail that goes further north, parallel to the road that you're on. It disappears into all of but there is a separation that you can tell that things rotted if they touched it, so they've peeled back.
For the record, we never actually saw in Yamari what was causing the rot trail, right?
No. So what you saw, for a recap of the rot trail, you followed it eventually from the road, from Baina Road, into the Sleeping Wilds, and then you got sidetracked going into the city, but once you reached the cavern, you found that the rot trail went from the rift out the caverns and out the door. And when you left that way and met up with Kaylin, that rot trail was out the front door of the cavern, and she met you there, and it continued off and then eventually connected to the road, because that's how the Aether Guard, that's how they found you, because you had told Commander Stoneforge that there was the rot trail, and so did.
But we never saw it, but we heard dripping, splattering sounds from the sky at night or something, right? Or is that a completely unrelated?
That was separate.
Okay.
That was a separate thing. Those were other creatures that had come out. What you have gathered up to this point is that that rot trail connected with Felicia at some point as she was heading from Balstead to Mosswick. There was no rot trail along the road, meaning they connected in some way. You have yet to see, although you sort of got a little glimpse in the Deadly Fedora, and then she took it off the island. And she had also fought that guy real quick, and he ended up all gross, and then they took him away, and you have not heard or seen from him again. So this rot is the same, and that's what you like ascertain with your 7. It's like, I know what this is.
This is definitely the same rod.
Rot, all right.
Can we see? Does
Oh, excuse me.
the trail
Waiting for that one.
extend in both ways, or does it seem like
It ends here, but with your 15.
So it starts right here, or rather,
No, it ends with this body, and it's like with your 15, it looks like, so you kind of start putting some things together, walking around, making a little bit of a wide berth. You get like evidence of some kind of scuffle here. Unclear if it's like an attempted burglary, a successful one. But you kind of like standing there, and if we go all like house style or whatever show it was that puts those things together, you're like, you can see almost like this guy like walking from your southward along the road, and then at some point ends up in the swampy area, and then right here you can see that there's blood on some plants, on some leaves, on things. There it looks to be like two other people probably, who this person engaged with. It's hard to tell how they died, so
they got it.
you can't tell how this person died without getting much closer to the body, which even then you're like, I don't know if I'd be able to tell. It's like just a rotted mass. You can see that there's a face here like looking up to the sky, but everything's blackened. You see evidence of a scuffle here. You also see that where this infection, it almost is like it, I don't want to say exploded, but it's like it went out. And there seems to be evidence of, as you kind of walk back towards the road and look, like you are nervous as you look at this, thinking, I wonder if this infection left with the two people that, whatever this was. The two people who engaged with this person.
I translate all that. Seems like there was two people. It seems like something happened, a fight. And are there tracks? Or is it just the rot trail?
There's tracks away from this afterwards that almost appear to have a little bit of like little glops of blood mixed with this blackened something. And then as you get onto the road, and it just mixes and disappears.
Just point them that way. Oh.
I don't think we have tried this, but perhaps we should burn this. Be safer.
You said that
everyone.
in this black mass you can actually like see a face. Like we know for sure this was a body of.
There's a
some kind.
humanoid figure, a human, an elf, a half elf, like a humanoid looking person, like not a dragonborn or, you know.
I'm gonna do something that I did on the island just to make sure. I'm gonna like break off like maybe like a 2 or 3 foot twig, branch, whatever, and just kind of
poke it.
You're
Poke,
poking
yeah.
it with a stick.
poke it with a stick. Yeah.
Sure, let's not light it on fire. Let's poke it with a stick.
Poke it first.
But on the island, it had basically like dissolves the.
It instantly starts rotting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The moment that the stick touches anywhere that was alive, dies, and as you watch it, it kind of starts crawling up the stick, so you have to let it go.
Kai's gonna walk up next to Eldon after he's seen him poking the mass with the stick
do
and the stick.
something. Do something.
He's gonna look at the face for a moment, and he swears that he hears the Raven Queen's voice in the back of his mind, and he kind of just like stares off for a moment, almost like he's in a trance, and then it almost seems like a spectral raven flies over his shoulder and lands on the body as he casts Speak with the Dead.
Nice.
Okay.
Bye-bye,
so
Raven.
the raven flits over, lands, and then it's almost like it doesn't just go poof, it goes like its wings flare out, and you can see it almost get sucked into the rotted corpse. But your spell works.
Okay, it's the first time I've ever used this, so I just want to make sure I know what
Unless
I'm
there's
doing.
some kind of save or something. I think it just works, right?
I don't think so. You grant
Yeah.
the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead.
Mm-hmm.
Spell fails if the corpse was the target of this spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. The spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only it's animating its spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events.
Okay. As the raven gets sucked into the black, shiny, rot slime of this individual, you hear this horrible sound as where its mouth is actually open and facing the sky. There are no eyes. It's all just too rotted and covered, but it's almost like it takes this breath in of all the gunk that's over its mouth. You hear this like as it like breathes.
It's like,
Yeah, and it's all bubbly and whatnot. Yeah, the reaction is real. I mean, I don't know anybody who's like,
That's so gross.
yummy.
you hear the sound from the road, and it's like loud, and it doesn't even try to like move or anything. It's just laying there, and you can see its mouth is open, and you can ask your question.
Kethra hears that and sees that and goes, "Oh, holy fuck!"
Yeah.
Oh,
Ladies are like, oh.
what the fuck are you doing? Oh.
Eldon and Kai are still holding hands.
How did you come here?
It goes, I walked.
Where's the smartass?
The rot. Did it compel you to come here?
It takes like another deep, crackly breath in, and it says, embrace the putrid bloom. Life is but a passing stench.
Who do you follow?
I am but a vessel through which rot flows. Moander, blessed by the father of corruption.
What does Moander want?
From twisted seed to flensing blade, Moander consumes all. The Lord of Blights commands a new world.
Boy, ask it how to defeat this Moender. You hear from the back.
I don't think it works that way.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know how it works.
Before you died, did you spread the rot to any other people?
When death's crown wilts, Moander will wield it. From here, across Eleothis, I did my part and spread the rot.
Well, that was a really long-winded yes.
Are the rest of Astrom's End
No questions.
around us? Like,
No, they're up at
Pretty sure that
the.
was fine.
Yeah,
They're,
that was fine.
so
Yeah,
no
that
no
was fine.
curiosity seekers came by.
No, they're doing their thing. I mean, Desi's kind of like hanging out at the back of his cart there, but he's not coming over because you didn't invite him. So just standing there.
Desi, come look at this corpse.
No
I
thanks.
just hand him a
Grab a stick.
Why didn't you come? No one invited me. No one invited me to look at the corpse.
Eldon,
See, they don't like me.
He'd want to see a dead body.
And then as it's done, you see like a bubbling as it like
fills back.
it fills back in with the thing, and then it's just.
What was the very first question you asked? I missed that.
How did they get there? And they just said I walked.
Smart ass.
With
Eldon,
my feet, girl.
Heel to toe express.
One in front of the
Doing it the
other.
way Jesus did.
Eldon, do you have a way of contacting the keepers? Or the liberators?
I don't, but Theratrix does. I can talk to him, and he can talk to Pyrothorn.
I think that people need to be aware. This rot is spreading. They need to try and stop it.
If we turn, so I'm trying to. It starts here, so it's like it started here and then went that way, or was it a trail and he's in the middle?
It ends where you are. So it kind of like, it's as if he was coming north and going south, and at some point he ended up in the swamp area a little bit further from the road, and here is where this interaction happened. It happened, and then these 2 feet left and went to go south towards the city.
Okay. Yeah, this is a problem.
It's spread from the island.
And it's going to spread to the city, to Rusk.
Who knows where else?
All right.
We should get back.
Can we burn it now?
Have at it, Ayla.
Okay. You send
I didn't say it on purpose.
the fire, leaves your hand, hits the rot. You hear like crackling and sizzling before it gets kind of absorbed into the rotted corpse and smolders away. There is no fire.
Motherfucker.
Probably need to do it the old-fashioned way.
What's that?
Real fire.
So you kind of do that, light the fire, it crackles up, and then it gets pulled back in. That rot is there to stay.
Okay. Never mind.
Well, hopefully people have the good sense to stay away from it.
Maybe just make sure Theratrix tells Pyrothorn that too, just in case they don't have the good sense intuitively to stay away from it, to not touch it.
Don't touch it.
Did you ask how long ago this happened?
I didn't.
In the past 3 days, has it rained? I should ask. Did it rain? Did it rain yesterday?
It did.
It did rain yesterday.
Yeah.
This has to have happened recently, then, and then in the past day. Otherwise, the rain would have washed away the tracks. That means that these people are about a day's away. That's
Would we
too
not
far.
have passed them?
Who knows?
You passed people. You're not the only ones on the road.
So above the table, we haven't encountered sludge-possessed people other than, like, the rat pile, right? Was that related to this or something else?
The only one that you saw that was infested was
was
the
the dude
person
on
who was
Beachmere.
at Beachmere, whose body they took, and you have not heard.
And he was, like, not quite with it.
He was pretty much gone. Yeah, but he also was, and you only have this one to go off of, but he was from what you could gather, like attacked by Felicia. She got him in the stomach, and then he just got sicker and sicker, over the course of... It wasn't instant. Like, he was like, oh my gosh, I've been attacked by somebody. But it wasn't like she tore him apart or anything. Like, he got home and then was like, I don't feel so good. And then it took a couple of days. So that's the only interaction that you've had with a living person that has a connection to this.
But we know that it can fuse animals into gross monsters, right?
No.
No?
What you saw, two separate things. There were creatures coming from the abyssal plane through the rift. Those creatures you saw are just creatures from the rift.
Oh, I always assumed the rat pile monster was caused by this.
No, that was just an abyssal creature. All of the creatures that you saw, if anything, you could tie that back to Shabazz, because she was the god of abyssal, abomination, whatever creatures. Kind of putting it together a little bit, talking it through, we'll say, on the side of the road. Shabazz, when you interacted with her cultists, they were very clear that, like, if Shabazz had come through, she's full strength. She's full power. She's good. She's trying to come through, and you would have been screwed, because this full power god comes through. But when you think about it, she mentions Moander and that he's nothing to her. She could destroy him, whatever. And if you kind of picture in your head a little bit, going back to movies or just... Moander slithered through and then crawled its way. You're not picturing or assuming, you haven't seen, and there's no evidence of a big giant monster that came through the thing. It's a trail. Even the one that you saw was, a few like inches wide. It's not taking over things or spreading out. It's like something kind of like crawled through and pulled itself until it met somebody who could more quickly move it from where it needed to be. And it also didn't know where it was, thinking about it. So right now, Felicia, as far as you know, is like the conduit. However, it's clear now that it can also spread to different things. So kind of picturing it, Shabazz was an immediate danger of, if she comes through, this big eye was taking up the rift. She's huge, she's powerful, she's ready to come in and just rule this world. Whereas this other god, which is what she called it.
Is it a god or a demigod?
Well,
lesser god.
It would be a lesser god in this, because only the true gods are... Even, it's the siblings and Inan on the Woven Sense. Those are the gods. Everybody else is a demigod. But it's not like Moander came through and now you're suddenly like, Moander's everywhere. This is a diminished, battered, beaten avatar of Moander who has to make its way somewhere by using the inhabitants of this place to get wherever it is. Just so happens it comes across a cultist of sorts who is beholden to a leader that has beliefs or whatever. Whether or not those beliefs matter once a god gets into your body, I mean, their beliefs are going to probably trump whatever, but it's like, oh, but there's somebody who wields power. Who's this random person? I could probably make them strong. But in the world of this, typically what we all think of is like, the more people that believe in a god, the stronger they become. The more, people that are there worshiping them. Nobody believes in Felicia, but Felicia knows that people believe in Rakus Veli. So, all this to say, the creature that came through slithering and sliming and crawling its way across the sleeping wilds to meet up with Felicia, to just happenstance as she's leaving Joy Run, is not as strong as Shabazz was, or you would know it by now, and is going to be growing, and it has already had months to spread, starting with the Deadly Fedora. And then those people left. And then it was mentioned to Maury. He's not concerned with this because he's got other things to worry about and he doesn't know or necessarily care at the moment. because it's just
once
rumors.
we get back to the cart.
But I mean, it's just rumors too. You guys are, it's your word against like nothing. There's been no evidence of a problem.
We're God-stopping experts. Okay.
So you say.
We've done it once.
But what they said is like
Barely.
there's evidence of these
100%
trails
success
of
rate.
rot that are expanding out
1 out of 1.
across the meadows. So
Haven't failed yet.
Look, we've stopped gods, we've unleashed gods, we've befriended gods, we've been blessed by gods.
We're
We
bound
are-
to get fucked up by a god. It's just we're ticking off.
with a
This-
god.
Yeah.
This is our resume,
There's not a
and
lot of
Maury
better
better
options out
fucking
there.
believe it.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh god.
even if he did, I mean, what do you
What's
want him
a
to
god
do about
to a
it?
non-believer?
Isn't he cursed by a fucking god?
Did he say that?
That's his chronic pain, his god curse.
God curse.
He definitely has been like, why did you not protect me from this, or
yes.
you know, from chaos? But yeah, anyway,
Goodness.
yeah. So you had a question.
So we saw that one guy who was rot infected, who was like dying, but Felicia has had this for like months and is presumably like fine.
Well, you don't know.
I would have, guessing from everything that we are learning in this group session of god therapy here, is that that dude would have become infected like Felicia and the Deadly Fedora people. If, and maybe he did, we don't know. We left the island, never fucking double
He was
checked
fully
on him.
infected. He was all black
was
and
visibly, like,
he was
nasty.
But he
visibly
was ill. He wasn't like up and like, hey, follow me.
when you last left him.
Right. But we left him in medical care. Like, people coming to hopefully
They
do
took him.
some- Right.
They took him while you were there.
So,
yeah. But you didn't ask.
I'm assuming it takes time to get to where Felicia is. We don't know how long
Well, we-
Felicia was infected laying in the jungle
Do
before
we think
she
she
got up.
like looks? Because he was like really nasty.
She wasn't nasty in the Deadly
She wasn't
Fedora, was
nasty.
she? I don't remember.
I feel like it would have come up if she was like gnarly looking.
Yeah, I think she looked normal and then was like,
So she
did she
absolutely did not open her shirt and
Yeah,
have
and
any
why
sort of
did
buttons
she-
Chest,
out.
not her
no,
shirt.
it was out of her like ears and face.
either way.
Either way,
Well,
no,
I mean,
no.
ears, titties. What's the difference, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I guess they're both erogenous zones, right?
what the people on the Deadly Fedora witnessed as that over the course of several days, there were people who looked sweaty. They started to look a little off. They felt sick, and then they were fine. So there was no like they had a wound, and the doctor was like, "This is weird. There's like this black wound that is like festering." And then when I go to ask them about it, they don't want me to see it. They don't want me to touch it. They don't want it. They're good. They don't need me anymore. But again, you weren't there as the Woven Fates, and that's the only other interaction that you know. So you know of a guy who was attacked, and then Felicia, who seemingly looked fine. She got sweaty, she got looking gross or whatever, and then she was fine. So you don't know enough, and now you have a guy who's covered in rot, who clearly he has communicated that he was a follower of Moander, but who were these two people? What happened here? Now they're infected.
Also, like, why is he laying there covered in rot? Like, did the rot take him out? Did the people
No,
take
they
him out?
remember there was signs of a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eldon
but
saw
I didn't know
blood.
if the people took him out or if...
Oh, like
Eldon-
he's the
Eldon had
result
put
of being
together-
defeated, and then but infected the other two who walked off, not knowing they're
Yeah,
infected.
he died, and the rot overtook his dead body.
Gotcha.
The other two are infected.
We don't know how the infection. Like, I'm assuming just simply being touched, but we don't actually know.
Felicia, like, stabbed someone, didn't she?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was stab wounds
I
of
think there was
people
a
on the
stab
ship.
in them. Maybe?
There's
Well, not that we would know that, but whatever.
yeah, and also Deadly Fedora. You never came across that ship. And when you left as the Deadly Fedorans, you all were walking. Everybody was walking. The only one who died was Bert, who I can't remember how, but ended up in the water. So
Yeah, wasn't that you? Didn't you like, jump off or something?
I think so, yeah.
yeah, so it can be assumed that there's multiple ways. You know how it ended is something came out of Felicia's ear, and then I intentionally cut to black so that you wouldn't know, because I don't want you to know until you know. But
I tried burning the ship, I think.
yes, you tried to burn the ship. And there could be multiple ways.
I love the fly sound effect. It just adds so much to like this scene and conversation.
I keep like
It's
doing
just,
like this.
right, you're just like, get away.
Yeah, so kind of talking it all out, that's like what you know, what you've all put together. You know there are webs of blackened rot that are spreading across the meadows, but nobody, like, the meadows isn't where a whole bunch of people are, and like this particular contact also only gave like they were like worried about it, but nobody knows what it means. And you know, you don't know. This is the first body you're seeing outside of the guy who was taken by. The other thing is too, and I don't know if you've noticed, when the government takes something, that's a black hole. You don't know what happened to that body. You don't know where it went. You don't know who has it. You don't know if they still have it. They took it. You don't know what happened to Winkara Wickloop. Like, anything that's taken by the elites, you lose contact with that thing.
They end up in a Diddy freak-off party.
Oh, too soon.
So if you, like, for example, had you chosen to not let the government come take the body, there's all just different things that could have happened, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but just the government takes it, gone from you. You're not going to get any information. That body could be gone, could be in a crystal being kept in stasis. I know where it is.
It's definitely that. The crystal part.
When you tell Theratrix, tell them they may want to contact Commander Stoneforge.
Theratrix and I can leave now and probably catch these two on the road.
You would not know who you're looking for.
Covered in blood, injured.
I wouldn't recommend it, Eldon.
Not alone.
It is best we press on. We should, in the spirit of cooperation, as she squints her eyes at the cart ahead of us.
Desi's there. He's like, he waves. He's like,
She's looking past Desi to
are
fucking.
are we gonna go?
To fucking
are
Maury.
You guys good?
Is she winking at me? Or
He's really
winks
winking
back.
hard with both
Staring at me.
eyes.
We should disclose to Maury what we know and suspect about what is going on here. And the possible dangers.
Especially if after hearing this rot has been spotted in the meadows.
I thought we were done with this fucking bullshit. But apparently not.
Kethra, even as Ayla says that, there's a part of you that always knew that you weren't done with this. You've known you're not done with this. This is leading you back home. This comes back to the day where you all were relaxing in the hot springs, newly friends. The sun's shining down on a beautiful
Naked bodies.
naked smorgasbord of
Cavalcade of pink flesh.
with Eldon shimmering and Ayla's hair turning white or
Red.
Oh, that's right, glowed.
and
I forgot about that.
I forgot what happened to Iolite, and I forgot what happened to Kai as well. But it doesn't matter because you remember that you had a vision, and in that vision, it was darkness, and it was the zombified faces of people you knew and loved and hated walking all around you, and beside you on either side were the more mature and older versions of the people that you had just met. And even as you look at everybody and how they've changed, you can see how they resemble or are beginning to resemble the glimpses of the companions that you had in that vision. And you know that you are headed in the same direction as that rot. the rot that overtook your family even before Moander arrived on this plane. And that's where we're going to take a break. So we return to the road side between Rilsk and Misk, which will get you to the edge of the meadows. After finding the rotted body and your companions Astrom's End are kind of sitting there waiting for you all to get back onto your cart. Are you going to try to have the conversation with them now, or once you get to your location of sleep for the night?
We'll do that.
Probably camping. Yeah. When we're setting up
It's
camp.
a good campfire story.
Okay.
Before we walked away from that body, Catherine's going to wait for everybody else to leave and go, I know this is fucking you. So she's going to say to herself, I know this is fucking you, Dad. I know it is. And then she's going to walk away. But she's going to spit on it first.
Gets absorbed right in.
She's like, oh, fucking nasty.
That didn't land the way I wanted it to.
Hold on, wait a minute.
The face just goes, thank you.
I was going to say, slide there, just goes,
You're nasty, you know that.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit.
So you travel the rest of the day. You pass people on the road. It's not frequent, but it's, more than once a day. There are folks. They look unique. Everybody who comes through and passes you, not in a way that you'd be like, I absolutely remember that person, and could pinpoint like two travelers, or that the two could have been part of a larger group as well. It's really impossible to say. But what you do notice from folks, it's kind of a mixture of either merchant looking people who probably just pass back and forth between what you would know to be it's kind of like the last stop before the meadows. It's a village called, or town, I guess, called Misk, which is along the Misk River. They guard the river. Not that flying creatures couldn't get across or anything like that, but there is a river that separates, so you don't go through the mountain range, because it ends before it reaches the ocean, reaches the edge. So there is a river that they kind of sit there and guard, and there are barges that go back and forth that can shuttle people across the river. Once you're kind of across the river, you're considered in the meadows and you're on your own. So there's a mixture of people, again, coming back to that. Merchants who are probably selling things back and forth from the city. And then you'll notice people who clearly they're not from around here, as they come through and are headed to the city. And from the city of Rilsk is where you're more likely to be able to branch off into the Blessed Myers and into where other villages are and other cities. There's other cities, obviously. Some people will rough it and just go straight into the swamp. Those people have considerable abilities, or they don't realize that they're not going to make it that far. So yeah, there's a variety of folks. Many of them look pretty strong and like capable themselves. You don't know if they have magic necessarily, but they are armed or they look a little rough, and they are headed down towards. You haven't found anybody who's surpassing you on the road to go to Misk at this point, but there are a variety of people who've come from the meadows. Maybe 2 or 3 times a day you pass somebody who fits into one of those kind of 2 categories. You find an area off to the side that is not so much...
Broke a wagon wheel.
Get nervous.
Broken axle.
Not so much in terms of... they're like way stations, but they're very... very basic. Nobody wants to set up shop between these 2 areas because it is kind of like an influx. There are things that do make their way. They just bypass the town and like start coming through. So wherever you set up is going to be very, here's our carts and our horses, and we're here protecting ourselves. You might come across a merchant that can help you. But anyway, that evening, as you all set up your wagons and the horses, get them situated along the side, you are approached as the campfire is being, we'll say, added to with some wood that you brought along with you to get things started, and some food being prepared. Yuri actually approaches your group again, and Desi has already joined you, and Fernilli actually has come to sit by you all as well. She keeps like kind of turning her eye to the other camp. There's like kind of 2 little groups. They're not trying to keep you out. It's like a group of 15 otherwise.
It's all right. We're collecting strays. It's all good.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Tiny Hut. I'm going to begin that 10-minute ritual practice. They can keep their campsite.
Okay.
We will have a tiny hut.
Yuri heads over and says, "Well, good evening, everyone. This is going to come off a little strange, maybe, but I have a letter for you."
A letter?
For us.
From who?
I didn't open it. They hand it over to Kethra and just kind
What? We
of...
have mail? Doing a 10-minute long dance to cast this.
How the fuck did we get mail all the way out here?
Who gave it to you?
Honestly, I don't know. I just had it. And it said the Woven Fates that you could see. It's sealed. I didn't open it.
And you have no idea who you got this from.
I just had it.
You know that makes no sense, right?
You know, a lot about my life doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Did you do like a times kind of thing? Is that what this is about?
Possibly.
Looking at the letter, is there anything in the wax seal?
There is a D.
What the fuck does that mean?
Seal look familiar to any of us?
It does.
Gee, come on.
Is it purple wax?
It is purple wax.
She'd be like, "Is Daniel again?"
Oh, I was thinking Duskridge.
I was like, "This fucker really does bounce around, doesn't he?" Good for you, dude.
Okay.
Am I opening it, or do you guys want to?
Thank you, Yuri.
Hey.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. It wasn't addressed to me, so
Yeah, thanks for not being a creep and open it. That's kind of great.
Like holding it up to the light to see if there's a check in there.
And she's like, you didn't like hold it like over a boiling pot of water to like get the glue off, did you?
No, I literally just found it.
I'm
Just
fucking
now.
with you, dude. Fucking with you.
I'm real
And
tired.
she'll hand you guys want it, or do you want me to read it?
I'll open it if you don't want to.
I don't. Whatever you want to do.
So Kai will open the letter.
Okay.
To my dearest woven fates, I apologize for not getting this letter to you sooner. The barrier around your particular realm has been quite tricky ever since Shabazz was sealed away from it. Congratulations on her defeat, by the way. Your names are sung as heroes in all manners of halls across the realms, and your stories are watched by even more travelers than I. I am so very proud of you all, as you have overcome more obstacles and faced more traumas than any one person ever should. Unfortunately, your trials are only just beginning. I have gazed into my well of time and see glimpses of the future that you all share. Below, I have included descriptions of the glimpses I have seen. By they literal or interpretive, I saw a dark figure, cloaked in shadow, sat sideways upon a throne, hand outstretched towards a rapier, bathed in pastel light. I saw a woman sat upon a bed overtaken with fungus, rot, and putrid coils, with rotted vines spilling from her cackling mouth. I saw Iolite, her body ascending and exploding with celestial energy, akin to the death of a star, or perhaps the birth of one. And finally, I saw two ancient dragons locked in a dance in the sky, spiraling towards each other, with your twin sons approaching. Please take these visions to heart, my dearest fates, as you continue on your journey, and know that I stand with you as best I can, maybe not in form, but in watching. Now, I promise this letter is not all doom and gloom. I bring some more gifts, this time for your familiar N-Dragon. For Theratrix, another scale brother, I grant you a collar of my own design. It pairs to the soul bond you and Eldon have, and will allow him to instantly change your magical breath weapon in scales on the fly. Unfortunately, it's only a prototype and will only work 5 times before it shuts down. After that, it becomes a pretty, if mundane collar. It's made of shade steel, a material from my homeland. It's twice the strength of normal steel and 1/3 of the weight. Plus, the dark purple color is quite striking. For Nyx, born of old love in little chaos, I grant you a magical gemstone harvested from the mines of Vindralara. It will float around your head, and in a pinch can transform into a pair of amethyst wings that will grant you flight for 10 minutes, but only once a day. Use them wisely, and make sure to steal bread from the oligarchs. Speaking of bread, the last gift is one I share for you all. A bag full of various baked breads from across my home realm. Druthia. Some have exotic berries baked in, others have sweets, and even others have various meats. Thank you all, my dearest woven fates, for rising to become the heroes you are now, and for taking the responsibilities you have. I am so very glad I've been able to witness each step of your growth, and cannot wait to see where you go from here. May the twins bless your steps. Daniel Wormheart. P.S. Please tip that kind young person who I handed this letter to. I think their name is Yori. They looked exhausted when I bumped into them in the space between realms.
As you read aloud the letter from Daniel and described the pieces that he stated he included for you, as you all were wondering included where, they materialized in the space in front of Kai. And you all, those of you not reading, watched them appear and then solidify and kind of like slowly thump down onto the ground, including the breads and the collar and the little gemstone for Nyx.
That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that was weird, just like the first time. But you know what? I'm done asking questions.
Honestly, with everything we've seen since we started, this is not even in the top 10.
Desdeer looks down at the breads and is like, are those for everybody, or?
Nyx runs up and hisses at him.
Oh, I'm not going to encroach on yours.
He
A
just
bite.
He wants first pick, sorry.
I can understand that. I'm just a guest.
He means all of us.
Everyone who's going to stay with us tonight, stay where you are as I am finishing this. See it, like, after all this movement, like, the, like, blue light starts coming from my hands into a certain, like, a point above us, and then it just looks like sparkling glitter blue water falling over an invisible dome.
Fernelli looks to you, Ayla. This is very impressive. Do you whip this out every time, or?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, well, it looks very nice.
Yes.
This would have been great on Yamari.
Yes, well, I have been practicing since then.
Getting stronger.
I'm feeling stronger.
Desi, meanwhile, is like over in the corner. He's like taking something and is taking a bite.
And Nyx is staring at him.
Like a chipmunk.
Nyx is staring at him,
Eldon's holding him down and like,
gently growling.
To the
Starts eating it faster.
the finger, the throat hook.
get it out, it's poison.
Leave it.
And Nyx is gently giving him a little kitty growl. Like,
So Desi looks to all of you as you're looking at all of your new shit. So what do you all find? You were over kind of near that that whatever you found for a while. Anything good?
We
Nope.
should probably discuss this all as
As a
an
team.
entire group.
As a team.
Yes.
Something that everyone should be aware of.
Oh, all right. Fernilli says, I can go make sure Maury's ready. If my understanding's correct, he can't come in here, right? So,
Yes, only you two. And
We can
Tonight.
meet over by your camp.
all right. I'll do that. Squeezes Desi's hand and then leaves.
Ayla clocks it.
Kethra clocks
Desi
Iolite.
clocks. Desi clocks. I like clocking it, and he just like puts his hands together, like in front of himself, and then looks around.
anyone who enters or leaves, you hear that like Tinkerbell noise passing through the barrier.
So as you prepare yourselves and then head out to meet the group, the rest of the group is all outside, and Maury smiles as you approach. He's looking very chipper tonight. He's looking very healthy and strong as his group is gathered around him. Yuri's off to the side, and Droppel, Julep, Takeo, Burgaface. I don't know why I love saying that name. It's such a
name.
random
It's a great
ass
name, it is.
name.
Yeah.
they're all sitting around the fire and eating some yummy foods that Julep made. And Maury says, "So I've been told you have something to share. Some interesting encounter on the road that we stopped for."
You
Yeah.
could say that.
When we were on Yamari, that rot, you had said that you had heard reports of finding it in the meadows.
Yes, my contact seemed concerned about some kind of veiny spread of rot across the meadows.
It spread down where we stopped today. We found a body in the rot.
That's unfortunate.
It did not have good news.
No. Bodies in the middle of the swamp rarely do.
This body seemed to be corrupted by the rot. For Moander.
I'm not familiar. I've heard you say it, but I don't know who that is.
We believe when that portal was open and the abominations came through, whatever this Moander is, it came through also. It seems to be spreading the rot to people and different things.
We saw someone on Yamari that encountered it and fell ill. Hopefully they got assistance from the authorities to be healed, but we don't know what the end result was. Only that it did not look good at the time.
So the authorities are aware.
As far as what to do, who knows? But from everything we can see is we don't want anyone to come in contact with the rot.
It has infected 2 others.
And they're heading towards the city.
Well, you stated that the authorities, I am assuming you mean the Valiant and or the Cassian Guard, were made aware.
On Yamari.
They do not necessarily understand the full extent of this, though.
And what is the extent?
As we said, this came from the horrible realm. I do not know if at the time we were aware of that, or if they have discovered that on their own yet.
Well, there are plenty of horrible, contagious diseases that already wreak havoc on Eleothis. Why would this be different? Why would this be our concern, I suppose, is my greater question.
It maybe proved to be an obstacle on the way. One way or another.
And the fact that we are still encountering this, after seemingly leaving it behind, speaks to a greater threat than I think we originally thought.
What we're suggesting is we just need to get the word out, as you said, for the proper authorities to be handling this.
Well, my contact with the Cassian and Callian empires is very limited at the moment. My progress has not been as fruitful as they hoped up to now. But I can certainly give an update the next time I check in with them.
Just be sure that everyone here is aware. If we encounter any more trails, to not touch it.
Absolutely.
We must be wary of others that we encounter along the way now, for we do not know how this can infect others.
I am always wary of strangers, especially those coming from the meadows. But we'll keep them at a further than arm's length.
Better safe than sorry.
I agree.
You say you're not on good terms with the Callian and Cassian Empire right now?
He smiles a little. He's got a very charming, handsome smile. Let's just say they're not angry. They're just disappointed.
Oh, good. They're not angry. That is a bonus.
For now.
That can mean many different things to certain upper echelons.
They had hoped that I would have more information and or another shard by now. But we are on our way. Onwards and upwards, northwards, into the meadows. So I feel good about where we're at and our timeline.
When
It'll
is
be in
your
weeks, but-
when is your next planned contact with them?
Well, it really is on my own terms. I have been contacting when I have enough information to supply. I may give it another day or two, and then give them an update on exactly where we are, which should be Misk by then. As long as I can show we are headed into the meadows, I feel more comfortable speaking to them.
We will do our best to keep you out of hot water with them.
I appreciate it. They can't get me from here. They probably could, but this is important to them. Doubly so for me. So we will get there.
It's important to us as well.
Perhaps with this power awaiting you, you would be able to eliminate this rot from all of Eleothis. You never know. Kygeros believed it came from gods.
Perhaps.
No pressure, right?
Well, sharing and truth is always fun, isn't it?
Julep goes, "It's a fucking blast. Every time.
Good. Glad we're in agreement.
That's the first time I've agreed with you.
I learn new and horrible ways I'm going to eventually die. It's awesome traveling with you all."
The long rest comes for us all.
Yeah.
Some more quickly than others.
You threatening me? Are you threatening me? She kind of has a little like smirk on her face as she says it. Takeo like reaches out and then he sees that she's smiling and he's like, he just goes back to whittling or whatever he does.
I'm
Like-
just gonna lean over to Eldon.
I'm growing on her.
I think she's starting
Like a
to really like
fungus,
you.
Kai.
So, you all enjoy your evening in the tiny hut. I'm gonna make a roll to see if Desi joins you.
Did we invite him for the sleepover?
Well, we can.
He can
You know.
run. He
just
can
walk
run
right in.
Yeah, he can run in and out. So
I'm gonna lead a trail of little snacky breadcrumbs onto like the bog.
Not my bread, said Nyx.
So yeah, Desi goes over to the hut. You see him, he actually like looks over at Fernilly. She just stands there a little bit, like looking back and forth between where Maury will be sleeping and then the hut. And she just shrugs a little shrug to him. And he goes over and you can see them talk to each other a little bit. Like he's trying to convince her to just like, come on, it's going to be fine. Iolite, you've got the highest passive, and you're not passive. You're active.
I feel like we're all in this area looking out, but he can't see us from the outside. We're all just like,
Yeah, so you hear him. He's like, he's right over there. You can just come if he needs you. He can call you, and then you can just get up and you go over there, and he'll be totally fine. And she's like, I don't know. I wasn't that far away the last time, and it escalated really quickly. And they kind of go back and forth and back and forth. I'm gonna make another roll to see if she joins him. And eventually, after like probably 2 minutes of them going back and forth, she just kind of squeezes his hand and does the little head tilt. She's like, I'm gonna go stay over there, but you have fun. And then he, you see his shoulders slump a little bit, and then she turns and goes to lie down with the rest of Astrum's End. And Desi turns and looks at the fucking goddamn tiny hut. I couldn't think of it.
I want that to be a quote now.
I know, yeah. Fucking goddamn
The
tiny
goddamn
hut.
dot tiny hut.
And he's kind of staring at it, and you can all see him looking at it. And he's looking, and then he like steps forward towards the hut. He puts his hand up against it, and like you're all kind of look. He's just there, and he's gonna lift up his shirt and just like lay on it. And then he starts laughing, and then he like lets himself fall through.
You hear, ew.
He's like, I know, I haven't been working out. I gotta do my crunches.
At least it wasn't your butt this time.
Next time.
And then like 2 pressed hams up
Get
against it. Yeah.
ideas on my magical little huts.
You can clean it off.
Facing your hut. We're breaking it in.
We can't do any magic through it, but like if we wanted to throw rocks at them, rocks and shit can go through it.
So arrows.
Specifically rocks and shit.
Just not magic.
And shit.
Love throwing rocks.
He's like, I didn't send an arrow through him.
Okay.
And we all get a good rest because we don't have to have watch.
Well, Astrum then does have to have a watch.
Good for them.
That's all on them. I'll feel bad for them. They have more members. Go have fun.
Make a roll.
Now, just because I said that, it would have been like, Kethra,
Eldon would
go
feel
through and
The
roll.
hut just a dome, or is it a fully encasing?
It's a dome, so things can attack us from under the ground.
worms are still
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
problematic.
It's not a sphere. It's just it's just like when you put a thing over a
worms.
cake.
Yeah.
Eldon would feel compelled to take a watch for Astrum's End, even though he really doesn't like the idea of leaving everyone else, like, well, Iolite and Desi, in the hut. Like, he's like, this fucking guy.
I mean, you don't have to leave the hut to be on watch. You
I
have
know.
a full 360-degree view.
He doesn't have to,
Looks
but
alright.
he would feel
You
compelled.
can shoot arrows from inside your protected view.
He would feel compelled to do his part with Astrum's End. We said we were going to work as a team, or at least work together, and this is something he considers. Just realized Dizzy's not taking a watch for his own people, his own little crew.
Desi and Ayla are playing Cat's Cradle together and just talking.
Desi's more of their mascot too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expects anything from him.
That's the way to go.
Honestly, yeah.
So as you like gather up your stuff to take a watch, and kind of Theratrix has been taking well, now he has to sleep. So he's been taking watches up high to make sure nothing, comes out for you. But as you get up, gather up all your stuff, you see Fernilly stand up.
Shit.
And she sees you coming, and she's like, hey,
Hello?
I guess we're on watch together.
I guess so.
What's your specialty?
Just tap the bow on his back and then look up to where Theratrix, you just hear him flying around.
Nice. Well, my specialty, she just swirls her fingers and a little rain cloud pops up right above her hand. Just like it's a little storm cloud, like the size of a hoagie. I don't know why that's why.
What state are we in?
A sub sandwich.
With all things I thought you were going to say, Hoagie was definitely at the end.
That's what I pictured. An Italian sauce.
But what's
an
so
Italian
funny
sub.
is we all immediately knew exactly how big she was when you described it.
Words of the human language.
That's a obscure cut. Like next you can say it was the size of a scuppy.
I don't know what that is, but a hoagie.
That's a North Shore term for a hoagie.
But everybody knows.
No,
what a Hoagie
it's
is.
not funny because it's of the dialect that she uses it. It's just funny because it's a weird fucking thing to use as a size comparison. Who said who? Yeah, you know.
I'm trying to picture like a cloud-shaped object that's about this big, and it was a sub. It was an Italian sub.
I think like hoagie size is actually more standardized than like your horses.
Yes,
Like, the frame of
probably.
reference.
If you were using things as units of
Size
measure,
horses.
a hoagie-sized cloud does make more sense.
Then a shrimp-sized horse.
So and then she, swirls her fingers in it, and it dissipates into the sky.
Eldon would have laughed at like that, like oh, that's funny, like we all just did. That's good.
Reminds me
You know
of a
what that
hoagie.
looks like? Hungry.
Eldon would think it's really cool and laugh at it, and it'd be loud.
She does a little.
Still cats cradling Desi.
She does a little chuckle,
Unless
and
it's
then like
the milk.
as she laughs, you can see especially where you're at, it's very like humid kind of, and this little like, it's interesting when she talks or when she like expresses herself. This cold air just comes out of her mouth most of the time.
So you do mostly what you do weather.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
mostly lightning, thunder, rain. But I can do other things. I just like the weather.
It's nice to know we're in good hands.
Same.
Eldon stands there real awkwardly because he doesn't.
She puts her hand on your arm, just lightly touching. She's like, "You're good. We don't have to talk."
Is it cold?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. It's okay.
It's actually quite warm, honestly. Not overly, but just like
Oh, so she's hot.
she's got a little.
Hey, she's
it's like the
spoken for.
coolness is internal. And she's like, "You want to like walk around together, or you want to?"
Yeah, we can do that for a bit.
Okay. She takes a glance over at the hut that she can see through. Right?
Yeah, she was.
She
No.
can- oh, no, she can't see through it.
Nobody can see
Nobody
in
can
it.
see.
We can always
Just
see out of
glances
it.
over at the hut, and then
Yeah, it's weird for me too.
what's weird?
Nothing. Forget it.
Like the hut itself. It is a little interesting. I mean, you can be in there and see out, but you can't really see in. It's very pretty. It's kind of glittery, which I feel like might be a little bit like come hither to creatures, but it's pretty. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Just taps your arm.
She's like so much older than Eldon too, right? She's like 50.
Arguably. Yeah, probably. She looks like she's...
It's okay. I've been here before. It's not that big of a deal.
She looks like she's in her late 20s.
But she's
But she's a half elf,
yeah,
so
so
you
she's
can
older.
assume she's older. Yeah.
We'll they'll just walk around, I suppose.
Okay.
Unless she has anything interesting to say or add.
She tries to do the small talk thing, just like, so what's it like being, the voice of the world dragon? That must be really a lot of pressure for you.
I have no idea what it means yet.
Yeah. Sounds
So-
like one of those things that it means what you make it. I bet I'm not the only one who said that to you.
Rather not talk about that.
He's got lots of business obligations now.
Yeah, that Ayla really signed me up for a whole lot of stuff. I'm gonna have a little stuff in my email now.
She seems to like to put other people in the center of attention while still maintaining that, level of control. It's good to have people like that.
She'd be really good at running, like a concert hall, like a performance hall of some kind.
I heard that's what she did.
Yeah. She'd be
Yeah.
really good at that.
Well, maybe when this is
Peering
all
over
over.
at the fucking.
She's sleeping soundly in a pile of
She's already
pillows that she
asleep.
has stolen from several inns.
The closet
manifest pillow.
Full of
That
fucking
you've been left
pillows.
over everywhere we've gone.
Mangoes soaked pillows.
Tossing pebbles at it. He will. He's gonna take a pebble and he's gonna. Just a small one.
I don't know if it makes a noise hitting it, but
Okay, if you want it to. Like, Desi's body made a slap noise.
Imagine like a slap, like
Again, it makes
slides down.
that keychain sound like when you jingle Tinkle Bell. Nice. Tinker Bell, not Tinkle Bell.
Tingle Bell?
Desi is
That's her
playing
perverted older sister.
Cat's Cradle or whatever. He's like, Iolite, this is lame. We're 20, 21.
You got something better to do?
Never. What do you think they're talking about? He looks out. You can just barely make out Fernilly and Eldon kind of walking and talking.
You're touching his shoulder and laughing.
Every once in a while.
A rock comes out.
Running her fingers through the feathers on the arrow.
Fernilly does
Takes an arrow. It's so long.
It's really stiff. No bend to it at all.
bites it. Solid. So
Well, Julie's broken.
You don't bite. Fernilly is a toucher. She does do a lot of touching. It's not like she's also very in tune with body language. You all have been traveling with them here and there. So if there's any flinch, she's not gonna keep going. But if you don't shy away to her very light, just like reassuring or what's the word I'm looking for? She just, when you say something, she is like using her touch to let you know that she heard you, she understands, she's validating what you're saying. Like, she's a very touchy person. Especially with her group, but with as she gets to know you all, if you don't make any movement away from how she's touching you, she will do it. So you do notice that. It's just
Whatever they're talking about, she's really loving it.
Well, he's a funny guy.
What is she into?
What do you mean?
I don't know. What would she be talking about?
I don't know. This guy.
This guy.
I don't know. Maury? She seems to really like Maury.
Yeah,
Talks about him.
She's so pretty, like, tight-lipped about it, though.
Yeah.
Him.
Well, he doesn't like talking about himself.
Do you think we should be worried?
About what?
Maury, like, what happened with him? When he when Fernilly wasn't there?
No, I would just say, like I said, if it happens and she's not around, we should definitely be worried and run. But I haven't seen him get to a point where you have to run.
Is she still helping you with your stuff?
Yeah.
Is it
He
still
leans
happening
back a
lot?
little bit. Like he's trying to escape from this conversation.
She leans in. Is it still happening a lot?
It's... No. It's not as bad. I talked to her a little bit, and she thought that maybe... And this is not... this is just me saying... She didn't blame you or anything. She just thought that because we reconnected, that it'd been a little while, and then, like, I saw you, and then, like, everything kind of came back, kind of flooding for a little bit. So she thought that maybe seeing you sparked some memories, and now that I see you all the time, I get to not focus on just that one night. I can remember all the nights.
We had a lot of nice ones.
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah, you want to go to sleep?
Yeah.
Big spoon or little spoon?
Big spoon.
Okay. He cuddles up. Snuggles in. This is nice.
It is really nice.
It's another nice night I can add to the list. To the memory box. He just shakes his head, just like I did, 'cause it's a weird thing.
She knocks on his head. A lot in that box, huh?
Yeah, more than I would care to admit. Good
Well,
night.
good night. No follow-up questions. Good night.
Now, question. Does everyone hear this?
I'm already asleep.
No, yeah, whoever's in there.
Oh, I was gonna say, you guys are all asleep?
Oh no, I'm not. Catherine's not asleep. Not yet.
It wasn't like that juicy of a conversation.
Doesn't,
It's not
And
one that
Catherine did the
you
kind
have in
thing
front
of
other
just
people.
pretending not to hear what they're saying. The being the kind friend, like I'm pretending not to hear what you're saying. Even though I can, I'm not gonna listen.
Like Isla's right there snoring.
As you and Fernilly like kind of split during your watch after, you know, the awkward silence gets awkward enough that she's just like, all right, we'll meet back around. You are kind of walking around the edges of the camp, and then you start to feel something under your feet that makes you just kind of stop. What did you get, a 20 something?
25.
25.
I'm sorry, 23.
You sit for just a moment, and because you got a 23, it's only like 2 seconds of you sitting there, and you begin to feel a rumble under your feet.
The worms.
Is it a worm? I have tremor sense.
No.
Oh, shit, okay.
Tremor sense, what does tremor sense do? It lets you kind of feel if something under the ground is coming at you, basically,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
what you...
that is not what this is. The ground starts rumbling and your feet are shaking, and as you realize that this is not a like there's no worm coming or whatever in your head, you are like, oh shit, it's a stampede. Of what, you're not entirely sure, but there are plenty of large lizard creatures that are out in the swamps that could be coming your way. You have a few seconds, I'm going to say like 2 rounds worth of seconds
back
to
in the hut,
figure
motherfucker.
out like what's happening. So you get like kind of 2 actions here of what is happening and what you're going to do about it. So, what are you doing?
Does yelling to everybody count as one of those actions?
Yes. Well, it would kind of be like, what are you yelling? Who are you yelling? Are you just yelling out? What is
I'm
Eldon
gonna yell
doing?
aloud.
Bad time. I have to pee.
Something's coming, something's coming. Everybody up, 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 up.
Okay. So you start yelling out, everybody up. Astrom's End starts gathering up their things. Fernilly calls from like the other side where she was, like, what's going on? And as do a couple of other people. Jupe's like, what the fuck's happening? More details.
There's something. So nobody. I'm the only one who feels this.
You were the only one who started feeling it. They can all feel it now. Everybody who's like there and awake or sleeping. Well, you're sleeping still, but there's a rumbling that's happening, but they don't have any context for it. Where you have context of stampede, not thing coming up, and it is probably the dinosaurs that are out in the swamp.
What? Fucking dinosaurs, damn it. It's like
There's dinosaurs in the swamp.
Gallimimus is gonna be fucking bursting through the.
All right, what are you
fucking
doing
woods.
for the next one before they...
Something's coming. Lots of somethings. Lots of big somethings. Find cover. Get up now.
Okay, what are you doing with your next, as the rumbling gets louder?
I'm probably too far to make it to the hut, I'm gonna guess. So I'd have to probably go up a tree if I'm by one, I
Okay,
suppose.
you're going to try to go to a tree.
Or is there anybody... Shit. Can I look around to see? Like, I don't know exactly... Like, what's the layout? Like, is everybody else, like, laying on the ground?
Yeah, so everybody else, so layout is you've got your hut and your friends are in there,
And
which
that's
kind of
a
looking
bit
over at
farther
you're
away,
like,
yep.
okay, I feel like they might be okay. If what I think is true, which is a stampede is coming from a direction, they're probably all right. It's Astrom's End and the horses and the carts that are in trouble. You see Dropple and Julep and Fernilly, they kind of all start to cast things. And Dropple yells out, do you know which direction it's coming from? In her little Dropple voice.
instead of answering them, he's gonna contact Theratrix and ask him what he sees.
Okay. So Theratrix, high up in the sky.
Wait, I thought you guys can't communicate telepathically anymore.
We
You
can
can't
still.
feel.
Oh,
you can't
okay.
feel him anymore. He can still talk to him, and he says, "Many large creatures coming from the west, going east. They're huge.
All right.
They're coming your way."
Eldon will scream that they're coming from the west. Then
Okay. So
Get in the high hide.
the rest of Astrum's End, so they all start like pulling. Mori is like, we've got to get the horses out of the way, all of our supplies. They're trying to like push Fernilli and Dropple and Julep are like casting things. Fernilli is starting to like pull up a wall. When you said the west, she shifts over and starts trying to put up this like ice wall from what she can. Mori stands beside her, and Julep and Dropple. Julep is kind of like whispering things, but it's a little difficult to know what she's going to do. She's a complete wild card. And then Dropple is like calling over the folks that are not able to. So Gary whispers some things and then like calls the horses over to try to get behind this wall.
Gary, the horse whisperer.
That's his power.
I like that. Yeah, he only talks to animals. That's it.
Only horses.
Because animals are the only ones who actually remember him. You know.
Takeo jumps up into a tree and like kind of disappears into the
Takeo's the fox.
The fox, yes. And then Burgaface is
I love that name.
Are we awake inside the hut? Or starting to wake up with all the commotion and stuff?
yeah, you would have started to wake up.
And all the screaming. they're doing.
Yeah, there's like yelling. You're kind of all groggly or Kethra. One day I'll remember that name. Kethra was awake. So then you start to hear, I want better music. What's my better music? This one.
Hey Google, play Stampede music.
It's gonna play the
this
music
one?
from the
Lion
Lion
King.
Yeah.
This one's better. As you start to feel the rumbling, and then the first one of these, you'll know exactly what it is.
I need to see a picture, and I can tell everybody.
Styracosaurus.
Oh, yep. I know what a Styracosaurus is.
Somewhere between the size of a war horse and a small elephant. It has this frill. It looks like a triceratops. It's like in that family.
It's got
and
giant
a bunch of
epiparietals on its
horns.
back.
Yeah.
On
Say that 10 times fast.
the back of its head.
Say that 10 times fast.
Epiparietal. I can do it. I'm telling you.
So this is just to give you a hint of what it looks like. This is what it looks like
cute.
there.
Big ass nose horn.
And the first one breaks through and is going to. It's just the first of what appear to be many. It like kind of bashes into the hut that you're all in, which if you weren't awake, you absolutely woke up at that, and then like slides off to the side
what the
and
fuck?
Giant Tinkerbell sound.
It's like sounds like a bunch of dishes falling out of the cabinet.
Eldon and the rest that are outside, you have a variety of things that you can try to do as they start to come around, and while they're like blocking or being blocked by the wall that Fernilli is pushing up, as they ram into it and slide around, the wall is not able to keep up with all of these, and you don't know how many are coming, but the sound, you can't even like yell to each other. You can't hear each other. It is so loud.
So the walls, I'm just gonna, as where I'm saying, the wall is like here, Eldon's here, and they're all just running into it here.
He went around the other side of the
No,
wall.
I'm saying, I guess, yeah, I'll go like along the side of the wall. They just keep hitting it.
they're hitting it, but then they're going around it. So it is helping to shield where like the horses are, but that wall is not going to stay up unless there's something that happens to get them to move to either side.
All right, so then I'll go to the side that's nearest the hut and try to drive them like along the wall and like away from us. So I'm imagining now that if everybody's here, the hut, you know what I mean, where and the wall is blocking from them running this way, right? Sorry,
Okay.
it's
No,
tough
I know.
with
It's
the
hard with the-
in the imagination. We've got a lot of stuff going.
The hut's here. Where's the wall in
I
relation to this?
I will do it for you. Hold on.
We playing Hangman? Can't tell what we're doing.
Nope, I got it. Let me pull up.
I like those
a-
I forgot what it was called. Epiperietals?
Oh yeah.
EpiPens?
EpiPens. We're
EpiPens.
Stampede of EpiPens. Epipenosaurus.
All right, I'm gonna put up my affinity here. I don't know.
So my train of thought is thinking if this is the hut and they're running, they're like, ugh, and then like gonna go around it, but like if you stand directly behind the hut, theoretically that should be a safe space because they're not gonna like circle around it a couple of times and
So this is
go
west. Your hut is here. I'm gonna show
Drawing
you.
battle
a moment.
plans. It's a lot for me to like imagine in my theater of the mind, since it actually matters where the wall is and stuff in comparison to everybody else.
So very rough sketch. It's very rough. So this is the west. Right there where the W is. They're coming from that direction. They're coming at you. The hut is down there. There's a gap. There's a like 30-foot wall that is of ice, and then there's that yellow is like the campfire. So they're coming all from this
So
way.
they're taking up this whole
There's a
space?
bunch of them. Yeah, they're not coming in a line. There's a bunch of them coming at you.
That fucks what I was gonna do. Shit.
I still
Okay.
think if people got behind the hut, it offers shelter. Where this wall is
Right, but
a
now you-
concentration spell, this hut's immovable.
Now you have to get there if that's what you are going to ask people to do. So that's all I'm saying is if that's your plan or if that's what you want to yell to people. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
all are in the hut.
Yeah.
She would just stick her head out and get behind the hut.
Okay. It's really loud so they can see you doing that, but you can't really hear.
Thaumaturgy.
Eldon is going to do. He's going to run to here,
Okay.
and he's going to do one of. He doesn't know he can do this. This was one of the gifts that was given to him, Vaskin Veterix. He's worried about his friends, about everybody. He's going to breathe, take a deep breath, fill his lungs, and he is going to scream. And when he screams, you put it as unleashing a 30-foot line of elemental devastation. That'll be fire.
Okay. All right. Is he doing it like in a line like this?
It's going to be like this, and or like this, and trying to get them to go that way.
Okay. So with that, go ahead and make a.
I'm not trying to hit any. It's not like an attack in particular against any of them. Like I'm not. If I hit them, that's not the point.
Right.
He's trying to make a almost like a wall of flames in that. You know what I mean? I'm hoping to set that on fire right there.
Right. So go ahead and make an intimidation check. As you stand there, the rest of you looking from inside of this. So this is more of a skill challenge. You're going to want to get 3 successes over.
I have a -1 in
And so it's more
intimidation
like,
for
what
this.
are you planning on doing kind of thing. So you all watch as he stands
I'm gonna
and
use this and he's gonna go harder. Because that was a 7 minus 1 because I don't have a very. I'm not very.
Oh, yeah.
intimidating. 14 minus 1 is a 13.
Okay. So you see Eldon just kind of like scream in that direction, and then fire just roars out of his mouth, crackling. It is a 30-foot or 90? It's a pretty long.
It said 30.
Okay, 30. So out as he like blows this fire, you see one of the creatures like had already started dashing through, so like gets singed as it goes.
This is what we need your burps for. Mm-hmm. Those roars.
For those sounds.
You said 13.
Yeah.
You should have warned me. I would have taken like 4 good gulps and would have been ready.
So you see that it seems like it was working, but then one of the creatures, one of these dinosaurs, comes barreling through and actually knocks into you, pushing you out of the way. And you are going to take some damage as a result of that.
Gotta watch out for that horn. Styracosaurs are cool because they have this huge long horn on their front, and they don't have any blood rise like Triceratops. They have all these spikes on the back of their head, which is cool.
So that is
It's like a gourd. Instant death.
6 points of damage. No, it's just 6 points of damage, but it is a failure on your list of successes or failures.
Sorry.
I had 80. We had long rests before that, so.
Yeah. And then as that's happening, you see, let's see, Gary is kind of holding the horses right behind.
I laugh every time.
Fernilli and Droppel and Julep. Let's see. Maury is standing there, looking, kind of gathering everything. You all kind of start to feel a slight change in the air as Burgaface is actually going to try to run to dash towards where the hut is. And again, these things are barreling through. They're just crashing over, jumping, like trying to jump over this hut that actually they're pretty big, so they like crash into each other. Some of them like fall over. This is just a stampede of, you don't know what they're running from, but that's not in your mind right now.
Can we cast spells out of the hut?
No.
We can't.
You can shoot like arrows out of it, but
But you just
magical,
watch, you just get.
magical
Yeah,
effects.
you do watch
cannot
Eldon get kind of
go
hit.
Is there
He
a way to make
disappears
it like a
into the-
peephole?
Unfortunately, not.
You have to step out.
Yeah, you have to step out.
Can I step out the top?
Can you stick your hands out?
I mean, technically, I think you can step out any part of it, but the top is like, what, 10 feet up?
Burgaface is running towards you, Ayla, as you are like yelling for them to come. Okay. And you see.
How badly does it get stampeded?
Oh, I'm rolling the wrong dice. You see them. Yeah, they get kind of hit with.
I didn't get knocked down, did I?
Roll a dex save.
That was such a stupid question. Why did I ask that?
Ask questions like
Fucking dumbass. Did I ask that?
Excuse me, was teacher, did we
Yeah, I know. That's
pretty
exactly
much, yeah.
homework.
Over the long weekend.
You
I
watch.
rolled a 3, but it's plus 9.
Yeah, no, you get knocked out.
Fuck.
Or not. Thanks, or not. I was trying to be hopeful for you.
As Burgaface is kind of like running, and you see them go to like summon. They're
boss.
summoning
Blame my boss.
something.
Perfect.
You
That's
see
right.
like
Threw me off
this
my game.
You were distracted.
dark energy that they summon. They look to the side, and you see one of these creatures like barrel towards them. They let out an eldritch blast, which is very clear you've seen. It looks a little different than Kai's, but then this thing barrels right over them, and then they disappear into just this crowd of creatures that's going.
Yeah, he dead.
And crunch. Okay, so next round, what would somebody other than Eldon like to do?
Did that count? Me yelling to them?
No, that was just you yelling.
I will cast slow and see if I can at least slow 6 of them.
6 of them? Okay.
I mean, up to 6. So they have to pass the wisdom save. But
All right. What's the wisdom save?
17.
That's all I got.
17. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, they
Let's
gotta
make it
gotta be
That's how that's
pretty.
gotta be. I'm at the
They'd
fucking
be at
bottom.
disadvantage for being dinosaurs.
Just because they're
Just because they're dinosaurs, they have really small brains.
All right. I'm gonna roll 6 dice all at once.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
I'm casting it in the gap area, in front of the gap area.
Where I'm currently laying.
Oh, that was a weak one.
Okay.
Ow.
Like, so
So-
I have to step out the side,
You have to
obviously,
step out the
to
side. All right.
do it.
So that's a fail. You said it's wisdom.
Yeah.
A fail.
I mean, there's no way. I see a 20 there. There's no way that thing had a fucking.
It's just extra scared, man.
It's just-
It's not smart. It's just
5
scared.
out of the 6 of them fail.
All right, well, that's
5
not
out
too
of
bad.
6
I
fail.
need my rubbing rook.
So 5 out of 6 are
You
slow.
see, so they like slow down. You start to see the other ones
said
barreling into them and
I
like
heard you.
pushing. You stepped out. I'm gonna have you make a. Is this a concentration?
Did you step out or did you just stick your hand out?
You have to.
I
Like
need
your
my
face
full
and- yeah.
range of movement to cast my spell.
Stick your face out and just a couple fingers.
I'm gonna have you.
I'm
make
not a sorcerer. I can just stick my. Wait, I mean, I half am, but that's not a sorcery spell.
I'm gonna have you make a deck save, but with advantage because the majority of them are slowed, and you will have time to react.
19.
Nice. There we go.
So you are able to kind of shift yourself out of the way as you need to, as these creatures like are slowly going. Other faster ones are behind them and hitting into them. They're kind of rolling in slow motion, but you are able to hold. Burgaface was behind, so you didn't go in that direction. You went in front of you, right, or in that
I
gap.
like would have stepped out the side and then
you there.
done a little dance to slow there, cause that traffic jam, and hopefully it causes enough time for people to. Again, they can't enter, but probably the safest place is behind the thing.
Okay. So that is, I'm gonna say that's a success because it is they failed. The majority of them failed. Okay. Next, Astrom's End is going to go.
Can I do something too? Or is
I'm gonna do
Oh,
like
sorry.
whoever goes. No, it's fine. So you, those of you who can see, Maury.
So good.
It's good. This song is
A banger. A battle banger.
something I'll eventually get. Mob Encounter
It is.
Probably-
It's a fucking mob.
perfect.
from Kevin MacLeod, I would assume. So next up on Astrom's End is Fernilly is going to keep pushing against there. You're going to see that Dropple is who also appears to be confirming. Dropple. Oh, yeah, okay. A spellcaster. She is going to. You see her hands move, and she kind of like pushes with her hands out into the area in between the hut and the wall that Fernilly has already created. It's kind of like in the space where you were and where Burgaface disappeared as they're going, and the ice wall expands in that direction, but you still see creatures running through it. So those of you who can see, it's not real. She's created a duplicate of it and is pushing it out to give the illusion that there is an ice wall. So some of them are like veering out of the way, bashing into the real ice wall. Some of them are still like kind of going through it, but it is it's helping to move them past. Just see. And that was a nat 20. So she like holds this and she's looking, and you can see her yelling something to Maury, who's standing there behind them and behind the ice wall, with Gary just like holding on to the horses. And Maury is starting to, like, he's putting his hands out to the sides, and those of you within like 30 feet, 30 probably Eldon,
I'm on the ground. I can't see shit.
well, you can feel
I was gonna say, I'm
that
getting fucking
the
stamped
air
on.
around you is starting to change.
Eldon,
All right,
the crushed
next-
corpse of Garamuche, or whatever his name is.
Kai
The corpse of
Kai is
Kombucha.
gonna walk up, so he's standing in between both Kethra and Iolite, and say, They could use you both outside. And he's gonna grab onto both of their wrists and cast Fly, so all three of them fly straight out the top.
Hell yeah.
You guys both have a 60-foot fly speed.
Nice. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Like independently, you can let go of their wrists and they fly on their own.
Yes, because it's a 3rd level spell, but because I'm a warlock, it means I cast it at a 5th, which means I can give it to 2 extra people.
And Nyx is attached to me like Velcro. With
So-
little claws stuck in every single.
Just hang in there.
Pretty much like, don't drop me, bitch. Don't drop me. You haven't put my gemstone on yet, you stupid bitch.
I am going to say for this one, because there are ones that are like crashing over, it's either going to be all 3 of you. You can do like acrobatics. You can do, we'll say, well, you can let me know if you think of another one that would match. I'm thinking acrobatics to try to like navigate around as these creatures are flipping over, see the right timing to get up and out. And I'm going to do an average of what your rolls for success or fail.
I'm probably going to go with acrobatics, that's
Okay.
for sure.
Unless I can make if I can do medicine, that'd be great.
I mean, I was going to
acrobatics
say,
is
unless you're going to let me persuade my way through them.
Unless you're gonna
Can
let me use
you-
wisdom
I've
for this, I
never
doubt
gotten to
just
use medicine, and I have like +8.
I was like, anything that involves my wisdom, could I use that? It's like I can't use. Obviously, animal handling is not going to be an option right now, so I guess acrobatics it is. Huh. Nat 20 plus 2.
Nice.
Ooh, 16.
Hey!
Okay.
Made up for
It's,
my fucking 2.
Dirty 20.
All right.
Hey, I made up.
You guys smoked that. Nice job.
All right. So you cast
We'll do one of
fly.
these.
That was the first time I ever saw you guys do
We don't know how to do both.
That was the first time I ever saw 2 women do that classic white guy thing where you like you never know which one to do. That was like
It's specifically for us white people.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I've
know white
only
people
seen
problems.
middle-aged white guys do that. That's the
We're
only
middle-aged
time.
white women now.
I know.
I'm just saying, no,
Goosebumps
I've
aren't
no-
as
I've never
frequent.
seen.
I really-
I've only seen specifically middle-aged white men. I've never seen 2 girls go in for something and
Welcome to the jungle,
fuck
babe.
that up.
Welcome.
That was perfect.
Welcome to the jungle, babe. This is it.
So I'm gonna make some roll, or have you all. This is not gonna be part of the skill challenge. This is to see how you're doing underneath dinosaurs.
How you doing?
So Eldon, go ahead, and you're gonna have to make a dexterity save, and then you can tell me if you've got a plan to get out from underneath there. But first, the save, because there's all coming at you.
15 plus.
Okay, +9.
You said it was a save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Dang. There you go. Okay. So you are able to kind of navigate your way through. You're rolling. You're lifting up. You're. You know.
Can I grab onto
Yeah,
the
of course.
horns of one of them and try to swing on top of it?
Parkouring on a dinosaur. I love
If
it.
you give Adam a dinosaur, he's gonna try
Yeah.
right it.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
like the most creative I've been all like campaign.
Yeah. Make a dexterity, or you tell me. Well, I guess it would be dexterity save or strength. I'll say one or the other. You're probably gonna go with
I'll
dex.
go with dex. Oh, it was a 2 plus 9.
Okay.
He tries. He fails.
And you get the horn up your ass.
You're not back underneath it, at least.
I will. So actually, what I'm going to say is, You don't get up on top. You've grabbed onto the bottom of one of them. You haven't flipped over, but you're like not getting trampled.
Okay.
So you're underneath one that
I'm
is-
still in the game. I'm still in the game.
Now,
Sorry.
now
You
this
are-
is speed, and you're under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get dragged behind dragged under a dino.
Next turn.
Okay. So, but you are getting
because it
pulled. You're getting pulled away. It's running. So, like, you're kind of past this area as this goes, but you're not getting trampled with the amount of damage that I just rolled. For example, for Burgaface,
Oh.
who failed that.
We
dex-
are
the thing is
going
best.
to find a puddle.
Yeah,
Poor
just a, big
Burgaface.
old, just a squished puddle of
Burger
burger
Faji's
fache.
fucking hamburgers.
Burger kombucha.
Yeah, he's burger already.
Burger kombucha.
You still have to be outside to maintain concentration on that spell.
Do I? I mean, I cast it, and I don't need to keep doing anything other than not getting hit.
I mean, if it's concentration spell and the purpose of it being concentration spell is because you're connected to the weave and the weave has to keep that thing going between you and it, I would say you have to be outside.
Well, fuck me sideways.
You can be right against it or even back away, right? You can be
How-
backed up against the back where Burgaface was trying to get.
Is it holding up? Are the slow ones doing anything, or are they just
They're-
like fucking ants riding over them at this point? Because I have a
there's
backup idea.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. So they're like barreled over. They're kind of causing them to more go. Less of them are going this way, as especially Dropple is pushing that ice. They're coming back around here. So they're dwindling. I'm just checking to see if you're going to do a dex because you've already gone, so it would be one of these two.
Yeah,
who's gonna-
fine, sure, fuck it. Let's have me not be safe and heroic today.
Okay. If you're in the back, you can roll it with advantage. Because that's where you were telling Burgaface to go, correct?
Yeah, I was telling everybody to get behind it.
Yeah.
Poor Burgaface. I hardly knew him.
Yeah, I
will
mean,
not be able
she
to
is
recognize him
always
afterwards.
intentionally out of harm's way
Okay.
as much as possible. If I can't be inside, then I'll get to the back of it.
All right, go ahead.
Well, that's a good thing. That's advantage. 17 plus 6.
Okay. Yeah, you watch. There's one that like barrels over the top of the dome, and then you look up just in time to see these three like shoot out of the dome up into the air, and it barrels. You duck down, barrels over your head. They're starting to come around, but there's still stragglers that are. They weren't going to slow down fast enough to not hit the ice wall, and that because there is no ice wall there, they just keep going through.
So the stampede is tapering off, is what you're saying, or?
It's moving more to the north and then coming around.
That way.
But the ones that
section.
would have slammed into it, they're just sliding right through this illusion that Dropple's made. I think I'm at you all. So you said you wanted to do something, Iolite.
She's going to. You'll see her kind of like concentrate, and then she makes this kind of quick movement with her hands, and it's almost like a sonic wave almost that like comes off of her, and her eyes like flash white, and her everywhere where the shards cracks are is like flashing white. And then you see this kind of like opalescent like wave almost like barely imperceptibly like go through the air, and she's going to try to opalescent magnification on Fernilly, Dropple, and Mori.
Okay. Okay. And what does that say that you do? 'Cause I don't recall.
It gives them advantage on spell attack rolls or saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell until the end of my next turn.
Okay. All right. So for it being a skill challenge, I'm gonna say Arcana. And you, yeah, it's going to be an Arcana check
Okay.
to see mostly how they receive it.
I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna roll this other die. That's 9.
A 9 total.
Yeah, 9 plus 0.
Okay. So, you let this amplification loose in their direction, and you feel it, like you all can see it as it kind of pushes out towards them. When it hits Dropple and Mori and Fernilli, you almost feel like there was like an overload that occurred with that. They all like look like they're in pain, and you can't hear the screaming, but they and it's not like but it's just like like they're like
smiling. They look great. So well.
They're very happy right now.
they're trying to maintain. Mori kind of like drops to the ground, and Dropple drops her spell.
So it didn't help them. It just hurt them.
It just trampled Kambuya.
Kabuya. We've gone like 10 different names for the same one, and we should have a little tally and during it how many times different names that we have for it.
I'll let you roll a I'm gonna let you make a roll later to figure out what just happened here.
Okay.
But
That's ominous.
Fernilli is able to push through. The other ice wall drops. Dropple like hits the floor, like holding her head, and Fernilli though like is yelling, and you can tell she is screaming through some kind of pain and holding onto that ice wall that is getting bashed into. And then these other ones are now pushing through that. You do see with that amplification though, at the end, her wall expands further, like 10 more feet in that direction as she pushes through whatever just occurred. Okay.
Was Mori okay?
Mori stopped.
Find out when he explodes.
Oh, right.
And like kind of fell down to the ground.
Whoops.
He's like looking around trying to figure out like what the fuck just happened.
You see her in the sky,
just
like
flying
storm,
around
like,
in circles right now, going like, "What the fuck's happening?"
So I'm gonna have Eldon. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to swoop up on top of the,
Okay.
like try to swing my body from under. I imagine that I'd be like the head neck. I'm gonna try to get on top.
Okay.
Are you like over here at this point? He's been
He's
dragging
like
under
off
it.
yeah, he's off into the. He's off this.
Oh,
way.
I am.
Yeah, they are barreling through, and you're underneath holding on, so they're going like full speed. You're in your own little thing that
I
you're
was gonna
doing.
say,
You're in
if
your
I
own
let-
survival.
If I let go, I'm getting.
Yeah, you don't want to let go.
Okay, then yeah, I'll try to swing on top.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Yeah, I'm gonna try different dice this time. 14 plus 9 that time.
Okay, yeah. You swing up
This dice was not
onto,
moving.
and looking behind you, you can see that you're just seeing the kind of like crackle of the campfires, the remnants, as at least one of them got stomped out, and then you can just barely see the ice wall back behind you, but you're in a better spot. Are you going to try to do anything, or?
I'd call Theratrix to
Oh,
where
no,
I am,
dude.
so I can get on him.
Now you hop from dinosaur to
I'd like
dinosaur
Legolas
all the way
style.
back.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking like
Is that like the
Legolas style,
Lion
but
King game? Oh no,
yeah, yeah. I think in the Sega game
I
you
have a
like
plus 9,
jump
but
on
I don't
it.
think I'm gonna make all those saves that you'd make me.
Theratrix has been kind of following this. It was almost like do I stop these creatures or do I try to figure out where Eldon went? And he's going to choose you every time. So he's been following.
All right. Yeah. Is there-
Just couldn't get to you because you were underneath.
I'll hop up and try to get on it. Like if we're running and he's flying above, we'll do like a Mission Impossible, and I'll try to get on, climb up on him off the back of this off the head of this dinosaur.
All right.
Dinosaur's looking. What the fuck is this?
So Astrum's End, I rolled some things already. I'm gonna roll an animal handling. Okay, you're good.
Gary's
Gary's got it. He's like,
he's the MVP.
you can see him like whispering to the horses, and they're staying in place. You don't see Burgaface.
We
Now
never
that
will again.
and we're coming back around, so it will be Julie. Kethra's the only one left.
So you have us hovering whereabouts.
You can fly, so you can go wherever you
You
want.
can go anywhere. You're independent.
So when Fernilli extended the wall, did it come closer to the hut?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
How much space do I have between the wall and the hut?
Probably about 10 feet.
And who is still in the hut?
Nobody.
Okay,
Desi.
good.
Oh.
Fuck, Desi, you might want to move your ass, dude. Just sorry, buddy. Sorry. Right before the wall, like above, right in that area. Mm-hmm. My boot and not with my dice. Right before it, it's 30 foot radius, so I want to make sure I'm not going to take anybody out I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Maelstrom right there. So that it
Okay.
will create a swirling mass of 5 foot deep water appears at a 30 foot radius, centered at a point I can see within range.
Mm-hmm.
The point must be on the ground, whatever, but until the spell ends, the area is difficult terrain, and any creature that starts its turn there must succeed on a strength saving throw or take 6d6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
I can slow him down at least.
Burgaface.
Sorry, Burgaface.
Like right in front to drop.
Yeah, yeah, try and over.
Desi's safe in the hut.
That's what I was like. If I put it a little, I'm okay. He's all
I
right.
think that's.
Oh, is
wide
Desi
enough
still
to-
inside the hut, or did he run
be-
Yeah,
out?
don't come out, Desi.
I think that's wide enough to be in front
cheating.
of
Yeah,
the
you can
card
put it in
wall.
front.
He's just like swapping.
I'm going to have this be a nature check because I've already used Arcana and others, and I'm trying to make this fit in. So it would be, nature. Do you have high nature?
That's cocked.
There it is. That is 14.
Okay. Just
Squeaked
Made
by.
it.
Just squeaked.
Just squeaked by. As you make this space in front, and some of them start like bashing into it, falling over. There are some that just like make whatever noise a creature like that make.
No, that's not it.
She
but-
did it this time. Ouch! They hit the thing.
Oh, that really hurt.
Why? Bitch, that hurt.
Charlie bit me. And they start running through. Some of them don't make it. They just lay down where they are. And Fernilli is holding on to. You feel in your area, the rest of you feel that kind of crackling ozone-y thing that you were feeling. It died down. And these creatures bash into this wall. They keep going, and now the kind of stragglers are coming up as the stampede starts to fade away. As Eldon, you're sweeping back around with Theratrix, who's come up out of the trees to rejoin with your party. The last few of these dinosaurs gets up if they fallen over and goes through. Fernilli is still holding on to this wall, and from up above, as they make their way off into the swamp, you all look down at the craziness that is where you are, and can just barely make out the body of Burgaface half underneath the swamp. As Fernilli just lets loose a heavy sigh, Eldon lands down, touches down with Theratrix, and you hear Julep just start screaming at the top of her lungs.
At us?
No, at the body of Burgaface.
I was gonna
and
say,
she
like,
just
we
sits
didn't
there.
do this one.
No, she just like starts screaming, and I'm gonna roll the last thing that's going to happen.
Oh god, this is wild magic.
Maybe I'll just get like a little nervous. just little bubble guts for like a short second. Like
We're forgetting what's gonna burst through the tree line in a
Say,
moment.
That's what I'm
animals
thinking. I'm like,
don't
what
stampede for no
exactly
reason.
caused them to run? Because I'm more worried about what made those big fuckers run.
That's a good point.
Oops.
Julie's not that great, but I have to pretend Kethra is.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Oh, it's too big for it.
Oh, I made it.
Oh, I meant to pick it up. What is that?
I cannot.
I'm too blind.
It's definitely double digits.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
19.
I hope that's a good 19.
Probably.
Yeah,
A
19.
wild magic.
I was gonna say,
It's probably not. Oh, is that
Probably
wild
is.
magic?
Pretty sure this is a wild
And
magic
then
thing.
who knows? Could just be it's just a
19?
random thing.
Like, one of us could turn into birthday cake.
it's happened.
I
It
know.
happened in the last game.
Is this like regular wild magic? Because only wild magic happens on the one.
Oh no.
This is just like-
This is my D300 wild magic
Yeah,
table.
I was gonna say this is just happening.
So you see her, she just starts like screaming at Burgaface. It's like the most, maybe second, third, fourth most horrible sound that you've heard in quite some time. That's like escaping just this pure, like, unfettered rage and grief. And then she just starts to like blur her entire body. She's just shaking to a point where as you're watching her, she just blurs into a like a scene, like the effects from a movie where you're looking at her, and as she's screaming, it's like the scream starts to get that blur auto tune kind of thing, and her whole body is under the effect of the blur spell, and she's just like that for a full minute.
Just screaming for a full minute.
And that is where we will
Digital glitch.
And then she blows up.
Yeah.